Thank you. Thanks, so. All right, well, I think the last situation kind of, in the bigger picture overrode the game. So, all saying a prayer for Isaiah. And, well, we just released a statement on that, right? So that's, only information, that's the updated information that we have. Appreciate the way the league handled it. I think that was the right thing to do. And, also saying a prayer for some of our players with their close friends and relatives in Hawaii that are going through some stuff out there. So, that's really the bigger picture of it here. Kind of regroup and, talk about the game later, but that's, it's kind of where things are for right now. So, competitive game, competitive week, good week against Green Bay. Just, unfortunate what happened there at the end. Hopefully, it'll be all right. And so that's really about all I got.
Bill, how scary a moment was that on the field, and what led to the decision to just suspend the game?
Yeah, that's the league decision.
What were your conversations like with Coach?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Something like this, Coach, puts everything in perspective, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. We're all very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
All very fortunate.
Coach, in your long career, you've obviously never experienced anything quite like this.
Oh, yeah. I have.
Bill, how good of a kid is Bolden, 23 years old, out of Jackson State, Florida State? Obviously, his family very concerned.
We're keeping our fingers crossed. Okay.
All right, Bill.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so that's Patriot head coach Bill Belichick. Obviously, the game is not important. Obviously, it's all about Isaiah Bolden and his health. Hopefully, they've taken him to a hospital. Hopefully, he will be okay. You are going to hear from Mac Jones and Matthew Slater. The locker room, they just opened up, so the media will go in there as well. In the meantime,
You okay?
Getting there. Yeah. I think right now our primary concern is Isaiah and his well-being, and you know, our whole team's praying for him, and just hoping that, you know, things aren't as serious as they seem. So.
Were you able to say anything to him? Obviously, you brought the team up, team gathered around him. Was he able to say any words? Were you able to say anything to him?
You know, we just prayed for him out on the field, and you know, they were trying to keep us kind of back so the medical staff could do what they needed to do to make sure he was, you know, stabilized and everything. So I think some guys maybe went over there and encouraged him, but you know, I'm not really sure what his status was at the time. So.
Do you think they did the right thing, obviously, to call the game?
Yeah, you know what? I really appreciate what Coach Belichick did tonight. You know, he took the initiative on that, and look, this is not the AFC Championship. We're not playing for records. This is preseason game too, right? And when you have an injury like that, you know, it affects a lot of guys in a lot of different ways, and clearly our team was shaken by what happened, and I think Coach made the right decision. I think, you know, that was tremendous leadership by him, and I have to say honestly, that was one of the proudest moments I've had as a guy who's played for him for now 16 years, to see what he did, and there was no hesitation. And you know, I appreciate Coach LaFleur as well for, you know, standing with him on that. I think everybody acted swiftly, and you know, it was the right call in this situation.
What do you tell your teammates in the locker room? What do you say to them?
I mean, you know, some of that is I'll keep between the guys and myself, but I just think a lot of times all of us, regardless of the profession, we think that we're supposed to go about our day and things are just supposed to happen the way they're supposed to happen, and we're supposed to come back home and go do it again the next day. And I think it's easy to take things for granted. I think it's easy to assume a certain outcome, and you know, I think we all need to realize how blessed we are, and we need to live our lives with a lot of gratitude, realizing that we're very blessed. And certainly all the guys in that locker room, regardless of what their status is on this football team, they're very blessed. So I think, you know, tonight is a reminder of that, and you know, I hope that's something we never take for granted.
It's been chippy all week between the Patriots and Packers. Something like this, I saw you guys hugging each other at the end of the game. It brought both teams together.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate the leadership on their team. You know, I think a lot of those guys, Aaron stepped up, and I think Rasul and a couple other guys, and really handled that situation the right way. I mean, they have some real pros over there that I think respect the game and go about it the right way, and I think those guys led very well tonight, and you know, appreciate them, thank them. Thanks to Coach LaFleur and their whole staff, Coach Bisaccia, and you know.
I don't know if you know this, but has anybody reached out to the family, how they're doing?
You know, I think our head trainer, Jim Whalen, had a chance to speak to Isaiah's father. I think I heard him saying that. So, you know, hopefully they can get a chance to get down here and be with him. But again, I mean, our primary concern and focus right now is just on him being okay. And I think everybody in that locker room, that's all they're thinking about. So.
Matthew, talk about Coach Belichick and Coach LaFleur. When you were summoned by Coach, you could see you also conversing with John Hussey. Your impressions of the way he and his group.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know John fairly well. He went to my high school, so I've known John for a while. We have a good relationship, and I think he did a great job as well, just stepping up and making the call there. You know, Coach asked me what I thought, and told him what I thought, and I think he then made a decision that he thought was best for everyone involved in tonight's situation, and I think it was the right decision. Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't an extensive conversation. I think, you know, they had to run it up to the powers that be to see what they thought, and I think everybody made the right decision.
What
What has Isaiah been like as a player, as a teammate? I know you haven't been around the team for a long time, but
It's been a joy to be around. You know, he's a young man with a lot of talent, but he's a young man that's always got a smile on his face, is always positive, is always bringing great energy, great effort to practice, and he's been like a sponge. I mean, we've asked him to do a lot for our football team, and he's been eager and excited to do it. And obviously, I'm biased. He's a JSU Tiger, so I love having an HBCU guy here, especially one that went to my parents' school. So, yeah, he's been great. And, you know, all the guys love him. He's fit into our locker room seamlessly. So, it's been great.
If you could speak to him right now, what would you tell him if you had the chance?
Isaiah, we're praying for you, man. We're sorry that this happened tonight. We love you. We appreciate you. If you need us for anything, we'll be there for you. But we're just praying for a speedy recovery, asking that God be with you and that you can move through this quickly.
Matthew, how does an event, how's an incident like this put things in perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's a reminder that it's a reminder of the fragility of life, right? I mean, it's not something that we spend a lot of time thinking about, but the reality is all of us are going to have to wrestle with that at some point in time. Every person that's ever walked the face of this earth. So, you know, I think it's unfortunate that it happens in this context, in this setting, because this is meant to be a joyful, celebratory experience. We're playing a game. We're doing what we love. We're entertaining people. People are getting enjoyment out of our game. But it's a reminder that, you know, things can turn on a dime. And it's something that you have to put out of your head as a player, because you can't go out there with fear and hesitation. But the reality is that, you know, things happen in life, and certainly things happen in football all the time.
In January of this past season, you were in a situation where after the Cincinnati-Buffalo game, you had to prepare for the Bills in the wake of Hamlin's cardiac arrest, and you addressed the team. You had to continue and play that game. Now you have to go to Nashville and have a full week with the Titans. What will be the process? As you mentioned, to make sure that you're focused for the team.
I'm unsure at this time. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm sure Coach and his staff will discuss what that process is going to look like, but it's hard for me to give you an answer on that one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How you doing? How's the team doing? How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right. I think that was definitely tough to see, Zay go down like that, and just hard to kind of like realize the whole situation, and we're all together, and I think Slater did a great job explaining it to the team, just how, you can't take anything for granted. Just want to be there for one another, want to be there for him, his family. I've known him since high school. We played 7-on-7 football together, so definitely one of my brothers, but sounds like he's doing a lot better, from what they're telling us, so that's awesome.
Can you tell people what type of player and what type of person Isaiah is?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm very fortunate to have played with him in 7-on-7 football when I was, a high schooler, just a young guy, and he's just a physical, tough football player, and just hope that he's okay. I know he's going to do whatever he can to be back, and he's done a great job, coming in this year and just trying to play, really tough defense, and he's done a great job, and yeah, just tough knowing that I've known him for so long and knowing that he's just this ultimate competitor.
Does it seem as if the league, kind of showed that it's developing a heightened awareness to the emotions of you guys in these games and understanding?
Yeah, I think it was probably the right move to do that, and just everything revolves around him and how his family's doing and all that stuff. So definitely feel like we weren't in a good headspace. Nobody was on either side of the ball. So obviously that's above all of our pay grade, but we did decide, and Slater and coach and everybody and the other team just thought it was probably better just to hang it up for the night and just try and come together really as a team, and really just think about him and his family.
This team has to go to Nashville.
What do you say?
You have to go to Nashville.
Yeah.
How do you, as a quarterback, keep everybody up?
Yeah, I think hopefully it'll just continue to be positive with the updates that we get, and honestly just continue to come together as a team. I think we've done that this week during the practices, and I feel like there was a little bit of camaraderie and things like that. And I think that we just need to try to carry that over and let these tough times just keep building us up. And obviously hope that Zay is okay and we get positive updates, and just trying to keep plug along as best we can, but definitely tough.
After all of that happened, both teams and the decision was made, everyone kind of came together at the end, and both teams. Can you just talk about what that was like?
Yeah, I think it's important, just as people, right, beyond the game of football, just understand that we all love each other, and we're out here doing something that lots of people would love to do, and to see somebody, especially your teammate and friend on the ground and just not doing well, it's hard, right? But I think everybody on that field realized that this game is very big, but there's other things that are also very important, and that's the game of life. And I think both teams, realize that, and I don't think either of us are going to take anything for granted.
Matthew Slater said that he's never been more proud of his coach after deciding to stop that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that too?
Yeah, I think Coach Belichick just really did a good job there talking with Slater and the leadership of our team, and obviously handled the situation, and him and Slater did a great job in the locker room just talking to the team, and like he always does, he's a great, he tries to bring us together, and it's all real emotion, and we really appreciate him and Slater and all those leaders on our team that can just kind of bring us together during a tough time. So I thought that was smart.
How does it affect you, and how scary is it when you see the stretcher come out?
Yeah, I think it's tough, right? It's not something you want to see every day, but all you can do is just pray and hope that whoever is hurt in the situation's that everything's okay. And you think about, for me, I think about my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some guys think about their kids or whatnot, and that's a tough thing. So definitely just try to pray and realize that freak accidents happen, but it's tough to sit there and just act like everything's okay too. So definitely. We're going to continue to pray, and that's what we did on the field with Slater too. I thought that was great to do that and come together and just pray.
Comfortable fielding. Last question, a football question.
I'll probably pass on the football. Yeah, I think it's probably, but yeah, we definitely just want to pray for him and his family, and I do appreciate you asking, but we'll save it for next week. Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay.